All right, this is the live stream test. I was going to do a live stream, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to goes to 11. So here is my short presentation about a little project I've been working on. So what I did was I needed a way to send audio wirelessly across like a large distance if I was running a speaker out in say a space that doesn't have power easily accessible and you're running on a generator. Or something along those lines, and you want to send audio to it. And I just happen to have a few Line 6 wireless laying around. So what I did was I converted one of the microphones into a transmitter that can be easily mounted on a mic stand and get up way high in the air and then transmit to a speaker. So this is my short little semi-prepared presentation about it. So let's take a look. First things first is I want you to see, okay, here's this. And then we're going to go to the first thing, which was the bracket. So with the transmitter, oh, sorry, this music as well is from Scary Goldings. It's called, this is number 4. This is their instrumental album coming out at the end of the month. Really like it. Been listening to this a lot. I highly recommend it. Anyway, the bracket is mounted to the top of like my TurboSound IQ10s. So this looks like this. So the thing's mounted to the top. I just used the actual rack ear from the Line 6 transmitter. And I put I think it's an M8 size bolt that goes in where you would use it as a rigging point to hang it from. I have a picture of that here later, but this is what it looks like when it's mounted on it. You can put this up on top of the pole because I have all the power and everything and the signal going directly to it. And that's looping off the PowerCon right here. This lower white PowerCon out will actually loop power out. So I can power the transmitter and take its XLR output into the input here. And the other nice advantage is this TurboSound itself has delay built in as DSP. So you could use this as a delay speaker with 0 wire other than power going to it. Or if you happen to have like a battery or a generator working for it, you can have completely wireless audio wherever you need it. So this isn't necessarily the most, we're talking not talking hi-fi here. We're not talking just like pro audio. This is down and dirty, get it done with what you got. Oh, sorry, let's see here. I wanted to also show you, here's the bracket part. So there's the I think it's an M8 size, don't quote me on that. And then that's the rack ear, and then this went across. I put a small screw through the metal, and through this plastic piece here that holds it together is the piece that came with the Line 6 unit to make them lock together should they be stacked vertically or horizontally. This is all the hardware that came with the Line 6 unit other than this bolt here and these couple screws and washers that I just picked up at the hardware store. So second step is the smart measurement. So let's go back to me here. Hello, everyone. So when I power this thing on, the nice thing is I use these mics all the time because they were my backup wireless. I switched to a Shure ULX. Hang on, let me look at the camera here. I switched to a Shure ULX a little while ago, and so I have a lot of these laying around. And I've sold a few used. I've given away a couple. I just don't know what to do with them because I just don't really need them, and I don't want to rely on them for mission critical stuff when I have like the ULX-D for that kind of thing for really high quality wireless. So I thought, like, does anyone make a transmitter like this? Because again, I'm a huge fan of Dave Ratt, so I remember he had one that converted Sennheiser capsules to Shure. So I thought, well, it can't be terribly difficult if it's just a matter of pins and things like that, as far as what resistor might be in there and everything. I don't know, or what happens in the network to make it happen. But fortunately, this was an easy mod. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take apart this capsule part, which I haven't tested this on Shure yet, so I'll have to do that. But what I did was I took a Neutrik XLR in here and just soldered it to it. But first thing, before I tear this down, I want to plug it into my smart rig. So I also use this Line 6 wireless for, oh, I'm muted here. There we go. I use that for my measurement rig. So what's great is I just turn it on and it receives on my measurement rig. Here, I'll show you what my office looks like here. It's a bit of a hole, but so here's where I'm working from. I have, this is my smart rig to my right. I've got a camera here so we can take a closer look at the microphone itself, and then this is just kind of everything I got set up. It's a bit of a mess, but you can see where I'm working. So let's go back to the, here we are, this camera. We're going to go to the smart measurements. So let's open up smart. I think it's here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to plug it into with the reference being transmitted. So the output of smart, which is the generator right now, is going to be transmitted out to this Line 6 piece of tape that I've basically put all together. Here it is. And I plug that into right there. You can see, I'm going to hold that up a little longer. There's this. Here it is again. You can see I plugged this part in. This is just the output of the generator going directly into the Line 6. And then that's being received here at my Line 6 receiver. Similar to the, you can find more about it in my Workbox video, but I've since changed it and gone up to a 4-channel interface. Again, probably something else I can show you. Anyway, point is, here we go, back to this. Here is the transmitter itself, just as a cable, like from wireless transmitter to receiver. This is what it looks like. And the Line 6 actually does have correction curves for different modeling for it, and it's not bypassed when I soldered this on here, which I thought was interesting. So the neat thing is when you select through, let me see if I can drag this over here and get the camera shot so you can see everything. There we go. So what it does is it will emulate their different microphones. Oh, let me turn, I switched channels accidentally. So like with their guitars, they also have the modelers. So here we go. Let me move this cable over. See, this is a live stream practice. All right, so here's this camera. There we go. So you can see this. See if I can get it in focus. I got a focus ring here, maybe. There it is. Okay, so it currently says, where are you? Come on. There it is, model L6. And then we'll go back to the Mac, and I'll switch to, oh, I gotta select, I waited too long, but let's step through it. Oy vey. Go to number 4, channel 4, here's where I'm at. There we go. I need to go to model, and I want to step through it. So now it's on 58. I'm gonna go back to the Mac, and I'm gonna select the 58. Oy, this is pain. I've forgotten how to do this. So I need to go to the model. There we are again. There we go, model. And then I think I step through it. There's the, okay, so here we go. This is the beta 58, and then it'll switch to, this is the 57. You can see the curve correcting, and the, you know, the phase slightly changes to 835. This is the 935. That's the most flat so far. Let's see, the 41. I'm not sure which one that is. 767. And this one says OS. I think that's supposed to be an Audix OM5. This is a D5. That's the AKG D5. I really like this microphone. I have 4 of those. And then this is the L6 model that is their hybrid of everything. So far, I think I liked the D5 because that seemed to be the most flat. But let's step through it again, and I'll just say the model at the top. So here is the Line 6. This is the 58. This is the beta 58. This is the 57. This is 835. I assume that's a Sennheiser. That's a 935. That one looks very good. That's a 41. There's quite a roll-off there, so I won't be using that. 767. It's got a high-end boost. It says 05. I think that's OM5. And this is D5. I like that one a lot. Here's back to L6. So I think it's down to D5 and the Beta 58. Although this one pads down and rolls off, which isn't a bad thing. But I want this to behave like a cable, so I want it to be as flat as possible. And let's see. That's a good choice. That's the 935. And this is... There's the D5. I personally like D5, so I'm going to go with it. So let's enter that. Let me put that on camera here. I'm going to step through, and then we're out of that. So now that's what I'm transmitting at. Back to the Mac here. So as you can see, what I can do now is send the wireless audio just like I use the smart measurements, because there's no companding circuit or anything in this wireless happening. So, you know, you shouldn't hear many artifacts. I do hear I hear what it sounds like versus just a straight cable, but again, this is the quick and dirty, it's gonna work kind of thing. And so the idea here is just to be able to transmit audio over like a field. And then when the thing's mounted, let me go back to that photo here. When it's mounted on top of the speaker, this can go up, you know, on a ultimate stand about 8-9 feet in the air. And then, you know, you've got your wireless receiver well above the audience. And then at the other end, wherever you want to transmit from, you can get this handheld unit, you know, into a mic clip that it came with, you know, the wireless mic clip. Get this on a mic stand or even mount it somewhere super high up in the air so it's clear line of sight. And you can get some real distance. I tested it out here out behind my house, and I got 300-400 feet, no problem. I mean, there's not much around here. There's not much interference, but the point here is I can then add my active antenna that I used for these Line 6 that I no longer use to get even more distance. So we're looking at like real wireless coverage if I needed to push audio some far distance. I was asked about this because there's like a music thing that happens in the evenings. They do it at local farms here. And, you know, I was asked, like, can you put audio in a field where there's basically no power? And I said no at the time because I just needed some kind of power. But you know, they wanted to push, like, we're talking 500-600 feet, maybe even farther to the nearest power, or bringing a generator, which, you know, is obviously loud, but can be done. So this was my solution. It just kind of came to me as far as like using the Line 6 because, you know, I use it for measurement, so it's good for that. So this seems to work. So enough blabbering about that. Let's go ahead and take this thing apart so I can show you what the solder joint looks like. So let's switch to this camera, get this out of the way, and I am going to open up the, if I can find the daggone tape, there it is. So I'm going to take this thing apart and show you where I soldered the cable from the XLR to the transmitter disc, the little circular 3-pin disc that's happening there. And I just took the capsule itself out along with the screw holding it together. You had to unscrew the capsule part where the grill meets this. Okay, let me keep this on camera. Bring my mic over. There we go. Just enjoy the tunes. There we go. Just occurred to me how quiet it was. Okay. There we go. So here we are. And then I basically dropped that in there. That was just electrical tape holding it all together. And then I electrical tape that because that's just a regular old XLR solder joint. So what I'll do is I'll unscrew this piece, right? And then here's the disc. And what you can do is actually that popped out just like that. And then there was this rubber disc inside here that separated the capsule from the lower portion. And then you can see this is where the contacts were from the original wire from the capsule. I'm here. Hello. There we go. So the signal lead is the one in the middle. Let's get my focus ring so I can get kind of close here. So let's see here. Stand by, it's coming. There we go. Okay, so you can see I did the solder joint right in the middle there. That's the yellow wire. And then there's this resistor across those two. And that's the ground lead. And that seems to ground out the other signal ring. Let me move that yellow wire so you can see that. There we go. So the idea here is I think that resistor, that R1 right there, tells it that this is a line 6 unit. Which makes, and I can see it's printed right there, line 6, DOI. But I think this makes it so that the transmitter will actually go into the mode where it models the different microphones. So I think that is a part of it. I haven't measured what that resistor is, and I was just so overjoyed that the thing actually worked and could transmit audio very well over that to a speaker on a stick, 300 feet away, no problem. I really, really liked that idea. So I just kept it as is. I'm going to put it back together here with some electrical tape after this video is concluded. But so let's go back to the last thing. I want to make sure I covered everything here. So here's me with that. There we go. So there's the bracket. We talked about smart measurements and then the solder connection. Yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. So when I soldered those together, I'm going to test this on a Shure transmitter. That'll be the next step. But so far, so good. This is a nice little wireless audio solution that really, I think these things go used for $250, and it comes with everything you need to basically make the mount and everything else to make a wireless speaker setup. I mean, it really doesn't take much, and I don't see any other, like I've seen the Stealth Audio one and a couple others that are there, but at this kind of price point for this kind of performance, like these perform very, very well, especially when this form factor gets the transmitter really high in the air, especially if I can mount this on the wireless clip and either put it on a clamp or on a tall mic stand or whatever, get it 9 feet over a crowd. I mean, I can shoot audio a really far distance. Like I'm thinking back to, a marathon gig I did where we had to run speakers hundreds and hundreds of feet, and this is just the way to do it. And this is a nice little solution. Additional note, the receivers, having multiple ones, you can just add as needed. So I ended up making 2 of these kind of units, these units here. So I can have 2 completely wireless and then maybe 2 closer wired for a delay unit. And I mean, it's gotten cold now, so I haven't had a chance to test it, but this idea would be just add receivers as needed with one transmitter. So they just receive it and then dial in delay on the back of the unit, and the thing works with just, all you have to do is plug in power. Very easy to secure all your stuff. Like if it's a large crowd, you just keep it up on the pole. There's no equipment to be pulled out. There's no wireless unit on the ground, no wires, no nothing. It's just a super clean setup, and I really like that. So that's the live stream presentation. Highly unprepared. How'd I do on time? Just under 20 minutes. Okay, great. Enjoy. Let's go to a slide, and I will see y'all later. Let's see if I can get that out here. There it is, and fade to that. Enjoy a couple tunes, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.